amazing tonight. I can't find a flaw in the whole room, but I'm going to speak what I planned on speaking about anyways. The number one thing that people hire me for as a stylist, I'm a personal stylist. I work with everyday women. I don't have like super fabulous, glamorous, high-paying celebrity clients. I have clients that are just like all of us, who have budgets, who have kids, who have jobs. They just want help with looking good every day. So the first thing that I do when I work with every client is I teach them how to dress for their body type. And the reason that this is so important is that, I mean, you could have the most expensive, most glamorous outfit, but if it doesn't suit your shape, you're always going to look a little off. So that's why it's so important to know how to dress for your particular shape. And I don't know, I haven't met one, I've worked with so many women, I don't know anyone who has the perfect body type. So that's why it's so critical. Now there's two things to consider when you're dressing for your shape. There's the horizontal body shape that you have. You know, have you ever heard like, you're a rectangle, you're a triangle, you're an apple, whatever. That's, when someone references that sort of shape, they're talking horizontal. So in that sense, you're looking at where are your shoulders compared to your waist, compared to your hip, compared to your bust. You're basically talking from here to here. And so horizontally, where do you go out and where do you go in? Now you could very easily take a measurement of your body, certain spots in your body, and plug them into an online body shape calculator, and it'll plug out. Okay, so you're an apple, you're a pear, you're an hourglass, you're a rectangle, you're a triangle. But I find that sort of very distant. So I recommend really taking a look at your body. So whether you're naked in your underwear, in your yoga wear, your exercise wear, taking a look at yourself in the mirror and really kind of tune in where horizontally, what sort of wider, what's narrower, what seems off. Because when you dress for the shape that you have, what you want to do is create visual balance and proportion. And what that does, when you can dress that way, it fools the eye into believing that you're perfectly proportionate. For example, if you have really sloped shoulders, really narrow shoulders, and really wide hips, where a lot of women carry their weight in their sort of midsection in their hips. So what you want to do is, if you're really wide in the hip and narrow in the shoulders, you want the shoulders to look wider, but the hips to look narrower. What does that mean? On your shoulders, for example, that's where you want color and pattern and detail, embellishments, strong sort of shoulder pads or whatever, bright colors, light colors. And on the hips that are maybe wider, that's where you choose a darker, like a black or a navy blue or a brown. No embellishments, no big pockets, no details. And so what that does is it draws the eye up versus down. So that's sort of just a generalization. I know we only have 6 minutes, so I can't really go into full detail. But the one thing that a lot of people don't discuss is your vertical proportions. So I don't know if anyone's ever taken an art class and you have to draw the human body. And I know I did this in high school. So when you draw the human body, you draw like the body is 8 heads long, and the perfectly proportionate body is 8 heads. So what you do is you take the dimension from the top of your head to your chin, and that is 1 head. And so every single one of us will have a different dimension. And so from your head is 1 head, and then to your waist you should have 2 heads. And from your waist, like your crotch area, that's another head. To your knees is 2 heads. To the ground is 2 heads. And what that does is it tells you where you're off vertically. So whether you're really long or short in an area. For example, this is obviously my 1 head. If I take 2 heads, I don't have 2. So to my waist, I do have 2 heads. But from the crotch to the waist, I'm actually longer. So let's say my head was 10 inches long, I could be like 12 inches to my crotch. And then what it is it deducts from my crotch to my knees. I'm not quite 2 heads, so I'm less. So I have a really long rise. And so I used to put on certain types of clothing and think, oh, why does that not look right? It's because this is super long. And so you will very rarely see I have scoliosis too, so I'm like curved on one side, straight on the other, I look odd. So you rarely see my waist, and that's because this is so long, and then my legs are shorter because of that. So, but I've learned tricks, like if you're super long, vertically speaking, in a certain area, what you want to do is cut it. And if you're short in an area, what you want to do is elongate. So when you want to cut, you create a horizontal line. When you want to elongate, if it's too short in an area, then you use vertical seams or vertical strips, anything that runs up and down. So that's, how are we doing? 1 minute? Okay. 30 seconds? Okay. So I'll wrap up. So it is very important because it's the basis. Dressing for your shape is the basis, and you build from there. But like I said, I'm preaching. Everyone looks fabulous today. But if you have any questions or whatever about any of the body shape stuff, because I know a lot of women struggle with it. It's the number one reason women contact me is that I don't know how to dress for my body type. I go shopping. I don't know what to buy. I don't know what to wear. I don't know how to wear things. The minute you learn how to do it, it saves you time, it saves you money, you know what to shop for, you know what to avoid, you know what to hone in on when you're out in the stores. When you get dressed, you know, I'm going to avoid that, this is how I wear it. And it really, really is the basis for looking great.